Hi, I'm in J.C. Ryle's book, Holiness, on his chapter about sin. One point only remains to be considered on the subject of sin, which I dare not pass over. That point is its deceitfulness. It is a point of most serious importance, and I venture to think it does not receive the attention which it deserves. You may see this deceitfulness in the wonderful proneness of men to regard sin as less sinful and dangerous than it is in the sight of God, and in their readiness to extenuate it, make excuses for it, and minimize its guilt. It is but a little one. God is merciful. God is not extreme to mark what is done amiss. We mean well. One cannot be so particular. Where is the mighty harm? We only do as others. Who is not familiar with this kind of language? You may see it in a long string of smooth words and phrases which men have coined in order to designate things which God calls downright wicked and ruinous to the soul. What do such expressions as fast, gay, wild, unsteady, thoughtless, loose mean? They show that men try to cheat themselves into the belief that sin is not quite so sinful as God says it is, and that they are not so bad as they really are. You may see it in the tendency even of believers to indulge their children in questionable practices and to blind their own eyes to the inevitable result of the love of money, of tampering with temptation, and sanctioning a low standard of family religion. I fear we do not sufficiently realize the extreme subtlety of our soul's disease. We are too apt to forget that temptation to sin will rarely present itself to us in its true colors, saying, "I am your deadly enemy, and I want to ruin you forever in hell." Oh no, sin comes to us like Judas with a kiss, and like Joab with an outstretched hand and flattering words. The forbidden fruit seemed good and desirable to Eve, yet it cast her out of Eden. The walking idly on his palace roof seemed harmless enough to David, yet it ended in adultery and murder. Sin rarely seems sin at first beginnings. Let us then watch and pray, lest we fall into temptation. We may give wickedness smooth names, but we cannot alter its nature and character in the sight of God. Let us remember St. Paul's words, "Exhort one another daily, lest any be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin." That's from Hebrews, a letter to the church. It is a wise prayer in our litany. From the deceits of the world, the flesh and the devil, good Lord, deliver us. I would have to say that I know this about myself, that sometimes when we're praying, we think we're confessing, but really what we're doing is making excuses. We should be confessing and asking for forgiveness. But I know I will sometimes get angry and then make excuses for my anger by saying, well, he made me mad. So we try and justify the sin of anger. So I know this about myself. It's something that we have to pay attention to. Are we asking for forgiveness, or are we making excuses? I'm going to link to a video called, "Yes, we JWs were deceived by men, but we were also self-deceived." And this was a series I was doing from a book called Real Christianity, William Wilberforce's words.